Hello friends, welcome into another video. Today we are going to do something a little different than what I normally do. Normally I do a lot of Dead by Daylight content, but as I mentioned in my most recent video, we're not only doing DBD anymore. And in case you didn't know, I'm a huge Pokemon fan and I would love to talk about that for just a little bit. So this idea actually came to me from the channel True Green 7. This was something that he had done all the way back in I think 2018, maybe 2019. So naturally I am just now thinking, I should probably do this too. So what this is going to be is ranking the starter Pokemon. So you'll see I'm just doing a little window capture here. This is the quickest way to get this video out there, and I just wanted to have this be a little light thing. So we're going to do a ranking of their first form, their second form, and their final evolution. So I'm pretty excited because I do really like the starter Pokemon. There are not many that I dislike, but let's go through our tiers real quick because this is not your typical tier list. So at the very top we have the best of the best. Each tier list there will be one who gets up here, and it's going to be very tough because frankly there are a lot that are in this consideration for me with each and every one of them. Next we go to the best. These are kind of your usual S tier. I really like these Pokemon, and it's also a good time to mention this is not based off of viability for how good they are. Now if it's one that I have memories with and I say, oh, they really helped me through the first few gyms or whatever, yeah, that's great, but it's not a requirement. Next up we have super solid. These are the ones that were almost S tier, but maybe there's like one design quality I'm just not crazy about or anything. Still, there's a 9 out of 10, a really good Pokemon. Good, it means there's more good than bad. This is an above average Pokemon and a solid starter. You shouldn't feel bad for picking these. But this is where my list starts to change from True Green's, because he is the most wholesome man on the planet and he said nothing mean about any of the Pokemon. It would just be little criticisms like, I just kind of wish this one would smile more or something like that, and that is so wholesome and I really enjoyed his video. I will try to link that down below so you can actually watch that and see what wholesomeness looks like. I'm gonna be a little meaner. So then we have bad, and then we have worse than bad, dog water. But then we have my personal favorite category, the absolute fucker category. So this one is kind of a unique category because this is not the worst of the worst. You would rather be an absolute fucker than dog water. And my thing is, there are just some Pokemon that give me those vibes. So in the same way that we're going to crown one best of the best, each time I'm going to give one the category of just an absolute fucker. One that I just look at and I'm like, you little fucker, you. But it should be noted, the absolute fucker is generally going to be a Pokemon that I really like. So without further ado, we're going to go in and get into that. And it looks like these are not organized in any particular way because you have the Sword and Shield lot here. So you would think you have the original starters down here, but you don't. And in fact, you have Squirtle here, Bulbasaur here, Charmander here. There's no order to this except for the Sword and Shield ones, apparently. Apparently those are all just right there. So let's go on and get into it. And I'm going to butcher some of these names as we go because while I am a big Pokemon fan, I forget the names a lot. Sue me. Grookey. Grookey is going to go up into the best. Grookey is such an easy choice for me when I play Sword and Shield. Or Sword, I don't have Shield. Grookey was just an insta pick for me when I saw the three. And that's not to say I didn't like the other two. It's just that Grookey is fantastic. And it's really everything I want from a starter Pokemon. So it's got this really cool design concept that's going to go throughout its entire thing. So it starts off this little monkey with a little stick up here in its hair, I guess you would call it. I'm not really sure what the thing coming off the top of its head is. And obviously that stick is going to evolve along with it, and it's going to become a bigger and bigger monkey. And there's a very clear progression there. You can clearly 1, 2, 3 Grookey's evolutionary line, and I think that's actually really cool. So big fan of Grookey. Really, they could not have done much better here. Next up, we have the little fire dude. I forget. I told you I don't remember names. I'm so sorry. But I really like this Pokemon. I was not tempted to pick it because I have a grass type bias and I really like Grookey. But it was a thing where the more that I played Sword, occasionally I would kind of get wandering eyes. You know, I'd kind of think, oh, well, this little dude's kind of cool. I kind of like this Pokemon. So I think at some point I'll do another playthrough of it and I'll use that as my starter. Next up, we have Sable. And I'm going to be honest with you. Initially, Sable goes in the good, but that's probably the highest that Sable is going to get on any of these. I think that the initial starter phase for the first evolution phase for Sable is pretty cute, a little sad looking, but you know, we all like a sad boy. it starts to get a little unfortunate from there. Yeah, I'm just leveling it here. Next up, we have Tepig, and a lot of people are going to want Tepig to go in dog water, but frankly, I don't know that there's a more unfairly hated Pokemon than Tepig, because even some of the other ones that don't really get their due, you know, like Trubbish, there are people who will go out and defend Trubbish. Tepig seems to consistently get just pooped on, and it's a cute Pokemon. It's a fun starter. I'm gonna put it up in the good. I like it, and generally a quick little thing here, like your typical tier list, the further to the right, it's a lower ranking than anything to the left. So we're actually going to put Tepig in front of Sable. I like Tepig more. I'm a big fan of Tepig. I'm not sorry about that. I really, really like Tepig, and I'm sorry if you don't, but I think maybe try just giving Tepig another look. Maybe go through, do a playthrough, use Tepig. You might find that you really like Tepig. I don't know. Maybe you still put them in dog water, which if you do, you do. Next up, we have Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is actually, a lot of people know this. For the longest time, Cyndaquil was my favorite Pokemon, so it would seem a pretty good candidate to be in the best of the best. But the more that I've gotten into Pokemon, the further down my rankings of favorite Pokemon Cyndaquil has fallen. And Cyndaquil is still a fantastic Pokemon, and we're still going to put it up in the best. I don't love it like I used to, but I still think Cyndaquil is a fantastic Pokemon. Obviously, Squirtle is just a damn good Pokemon. I feel like maybe I'm being too positive with some of these, but Squirtle is such a cool concept. A squirrel and a turtle. Hell yeah, let's go for it. Really, really set things off on the right foot with some water types. I'm a big fan of Squirtle. I think Squirtle's awesome. Next up, we have this little penguin guy. I forget his name. I've heard it a million times. Can't remember it off the top of my head. You know, good. It's good. I mean, it's a penguin. It's hard to really not like a penguin, but I don't know, man. Something about it. It doesn't excite me. It's very cute, and I tend to really like cute Pokemon, but this one just doesn't really do it for me. Next up, we have Froakie. I think Froakie is actually a super solid Pokemon. I am really a fan of it. It was actually one that when I first saw it, I'm like, I don't really like this Pokemon, but over time, I actually really grew to like it a lot. So, all good there. Next up, we have Mudkip. Obviously, the joke about Mudkip was always that you liked them even though everybody else hated them. I did not know about that growing up. I was just always a big fan of Mudkip. I thought Mudkip was really, really cool. So we're actually going to put Mudkip up here in the super solid. I'm a big Mudkip fan, and it's funny because I said I had a grass bias, but you look at all this blue up here. Look at all these water types. Maybe I have a bias that I was actually not aware of, which I don't really know what to do with that. Next up, Totodile gets the prestigious Absolute Fucker Award. Totodile just gives me these vibes of just being just an absolute fucker. It's just what the title is, right? Like, I just look at Totodile, and on the one hand, it's like, I don't have time to deal with this, but on the other hand, it's like, bring it on. I am totally into bringing Totodile along on this mission, whatever it may be, right? So Totodile, I love Totodile, and he is an absolute fucker. This one, it's SN something, I can't remember its name. This is another one that initially I would have put in the dog water category, but I've really kind of grown on over time. And I'm at the point where I'm willing to put it in the good category. I think it looks, in fact, you know what? I hate to do it. Did I put the penguin in bad? I'm not crazy with the penguin, right? Yeah, I don't know. Hold up. One moment.
A few moments later.
All right, and we're back. So I looked it up so I could actually get the names for these right, so I don't get yelled at too much. That's Piplup. Piplup is the penguin. I forgot its name, and I am very, very sorry for that. Piplup, we're going to put him in the bad. We're going to put Piplup in the bad. Oshawott, this one is probably going to be my least popular take here, but Oshawott is dog water. What is that design? What is going on here? It's simultaneously busy and also just doing nothing at all. I am not an Oshawott fan, but you may be. And if that's the case, you're wrong. Next up, we have Rowlet. I'm always going to like owls. Owls are very cool animals. and a really cool place to base your Pokemon off of. So that's a pretty solid basis. There's really not a lot going on here, but the bow tie is such a nice little touch. It's the simplicity that really wins it for this one. We're gonna bring Rowlet up to the best. No, we're actually gonna put Rowlet in super solid, just below Score Bunny. Next up is Trico, and another kind of hot take I have here is I actually think Trico, I don't know if I'm as big on the Trico line as a lot of people are. So for me personally, Trico is super solid, and I really like Trico. We're gonna put Trico up here. I think Trico itself is my favorite form of Trico. I'm not sure that I like what comes next so much, but maybe I'll see it and it'll jog some memories that I just didn't really remember. Next up, we have Popplio. Popplio. His name is Popplio. I knew that. Popplio is pretty bad. It's a seal with like a clown nose on it. It's kind of cute in its own right, but I'm just not a fan. I'm not a fan of Popplio. That is not a very good Pokemon design to me. I'm not a fan. Quiladin. I think Quiladin is great. I actually don't really understand some of the people who just are really not big on Quiladin. I think Quiladin is a very solid Pokemon. So fittingly, it's going to go up in the super solid. Next up is Charmander. Charmander is a lot of people's favorite starter. I understand why. Charmander is super cool. It's essentially a dinosaur with a flaming tail at this stage. You don't really get much better than that design-wise. And I'm gonna put it up in the best. And I know that people are probably going to accuse me of some Gen 1 bias, but you know, I think Gen 1 had its. I mean, yeah, Gen 1 had some really awesome designs. Not all of them hit, but their starters were really, really good. That was the strength of Gen 1, was they nailed the starters. Next up, we have Chikorita. Nope. We have this little fucker. What's its name? What's the chicken? Torchic. Chikorita's the one after it. Oh gosh. Torchic. Torchic to me is just really so much of what I think a starter should be. It's this cute baby form that still hints at what's to come. And for that, I'm going to pretty comfortably. Ooh, goodness, the super solid is getting a little too full, isn't it? Yeah, we're still gonna put it in there. It's a fantastic Pokemon. Next up is Chikorita, and I'm gonna be honest. People gotta put some more respect on Chikorita's name. I think Chikorita is a fantastic Pokemon. I'm gonna put it up here in the best. I understand that for some people that just killed the list right then and there. And if that didn't do it, here we go. Bulbasaur is the best of the best. This is the best starter Pokemon. This is a fantastic Pokemon, and it's hard for me as a human to look at Bulbasaur and not feel happy, not just improve my mood instantly. So big ups to Bulbasaur. I really, really like this Pokemon. It's gonna go my best of the best, even though there were some there were some that really could have taken that. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I can't put Bulbasaur lower than the best of the best. Fantastic. I think it was for Turtwig, who pretty comfortably. Oh gosh, I think we're gonna put Turtwig all the way. I told you there was a real grass bias here. Not above Grookey. I like Grookey more than Turtwig, but just barely. I think I'm not gonna spoil that. I really like Turtwig. Turtwig is fantastic. Chespin is the only grass type that's going to do rather poorly in this one, and there are parts of me I want to like Chespin, especially because I know what comes, and I know that Chespin's like as good as it gets for this Pokemon. I'm gonna put it in bad though. I am just not a fan of Chespin. I am not big on Chespin as a Pokemon. It's just it doesn't work for me. Fennekin is one that is a pretty simple design. It's a very effeminate looking little Pokemon, very cute in a lot of ways. It's nothing too extraordinary. The ears are kind of a cool concept. How it almost looks like there's fire coming out of the ears, even though I know it's just red hair. We're gonna put Fennekin in. We're gonna put Fennekin in good, and just we're gonna be okay with that. Next up, we have the little monkey whose name escapes me because, again, you guys, I am not good with names. Chimchar. How could I forget the most fun name that any of them have? Chimchar is a fire monkey. That's amazing. I love that. Chimchar will go at the top of the good tier. Chimchar is a good little starter. We're gonna keep up a constant pace here, so I'm not gonna wait too long. We're just gonna head on to the next one. All right, so this next part is, oh my gosh, it's kind of, I'm not gonna start with Bulbasaur, not Bulbasaur, Ivysaur, because I put Bulbasaur in the best of the best, and I want to leave some, I want to leave some drama as to where Ivysaur goes, but I will go in and kind of spill the beans and say I really like Ivysaur. I think it's a fantastic Pokemon. So with that in mind, oh my goodness, this one's kind of tough for me. So I look at I look at Charmeleon, and on the one hand, I understand that the middle tier Pokemon are supposed to be kind of awkward looking. It's supposed to be like you are just now, you're in middle school, and you know everybody in middle school is just kind of awkward looking. You know, your body is just shooting up and you don't really know what's happening, and I think it's great. I think it's great that they try to embody that with a lot of these Pokemon. Not all of them, but a lot of them. Charmeleon, to me, is a very awkward looking Pokemon, but again, I understand that's the intention, so I'm not going to penalize them for essentially living up to what is the purpose of this point in the evolutionary tree. So Charmeleon, I scrolled down some. I'm gonna give Charmeleon some credit. I'm gonna put Charmeleon up in good. It's a good Pokemon. I like it. Wartortle. Wartortle's interesting. They did not keep much of what's going on with Wartortle for Blastoise, and I'm very confused by that. These little wings on the head, gone. The tail, as it is here, gone. But that being said, Wartortle does look pretty cool. I'm gonna give it good because it doesn't make a world of sense in regards to what happened. What happened here? what happened between this and Blastoise? Even though it is worth noting, I think both Wartortle and Blastoise look pretty cool. So it's hard to be too angry about it. I'm just not sure what happened. Bayleaf is one. I'm gonna put this up in the best, and I actually think that Bayleaf should have been the final evolution here. Chikorita is awesome. Bayleaf is awesome. I don't like Meganium, however you say its final form. I do think it's a real step down from Bayleaf, which is a fantastic Pokemon. Next up, we have Quill Lava. Obviously, I am partial to Cyndaquil, but I was never big on Quill Lava, even when I was a big Pokemon fan. It's, to me, right, the color scheme is nice, but it's really just a burning ferret. I'll put it in good. I like it. That's about that. Let's go on and put Ivysaur up in the best so I can save time here. Save time because it's no mystery. Ivysaur is going to be up there in the best. I think Ivysaur is fantastic. Croconaw. Croconaw. This one. I refuse to put Totodile in the same category twice. I'm going to try to mix it up where nobody gets that one all 3 times, because honestly, maybe I should have done this one. This is a weird design. I don't know why he's essentially wearing like a toga and he's kind of caveman-esque. I'm gonna say it's kind of bad. I don't really like it very much. It's not great. Grovyle, you know, I kind of talked it down on the previous slide or the previous page, but Grovyle's not bad. That's a really cool Pokemon now that I look at it. I'm gonna put that up in the super solid. What a super solid Pokemon you got there. Combustion is next, and you know, Combustion's not great. I'm gonna put that in bad as well. I do not like Combustion. Bad is relative though, and I'm sure somebody out there loves this chicken fighter. And on the one hand, it's so ridiculous, I do kind of like it. On the other hand, I'm just not big on it. Marshtomp. What happened here? What happened? I defended you, Mudkip. I defended you. This is bad. Grotle. Grotle is very much that awkward stage. My gosh. Grotle. Turtwig and Torterra, sorry. Both of them are fantastic. Grotle very much embodies the idea of the awkward middle phase. And because you can kind of see, you can clearly see where it's been and where it's going. So I really like that. I'm going to put it in the super solid, which I'm realizing again, the grass type bias is really coming through here. I'm very sorry. Monferno. It just feels like a worse version of Chimchar. I don't know what happened here. Prinplup. I was not very nice to Piplup. And I'm not going to be nice to Prinplup either. This is dumb. This is a dumb book. I'm so sorry. Servine. Let's see. We have we have the Unovas here. Let's see. Servine, Pignite, and Dewott. Servine. This is, to me, this is the weakest in the line here, but it's not a bad Pokemon. I'll put it up in good. It's the weakest of Snivy's line, by the way. Not like the weakest of all of them. Looking at the ones they've got here, I'm going to put Pignite in bad because I don't think it was a very graceful transition from Tepig to Imbor, right? I get what they're kind of going for, and I feel like maybe I'm not being nice enough to this. I think it's probably fine, but I don't like it. The what is so much better than Oshawott to me. This is super solid. That's a very fun design. I like it a lot more than the starter. Very fun. Very fun. Next up, we have Quiladin, Braixen, and Frogadier. Wow. That's pretty bad. That's... Ugh. I don't like that at all. That one, I think, I don't know, I'm tempted because there are two of them. I'm gonna hold on to that one because that's in the running for absolute fucker with a different one. Braixen goes up to the best. In fact, I'm gonna put it probably even above Bailey. I think that's a fantastic design. Love it to death. Frogadier, super solid. Very, very nice Pokemon. Really not a lot to complain about there. Dartrix there. I'm not as high up on this line as some people. It's good. It's a good Pokemon. It is a good Pokemon. That's it. Torah Cat. This is such a boring middle evolution for me. Like, on the one hand, it's not terrible. I'm gonna put it in the bad just because I think the first and final stop are so fun here, but this one doesn't even give me the air of like, oh, it's kind of awkward, but it's getting where it's going. It's just not that creative. I'm really not big. And then you did not get better over time. You're not, no. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Grucci obviously becomes Thwacky, and Thwacky would be higher up if it was not like neon yellow. Not sure what happened there. But that said, now that it has two sticks, it's got drumsticks, its face is cute. I actually I have sentimental attachment to Thwackies. Thwacky's fun. We're gonna put Thwacky at the head of the good. Thwacky is good. Not great, but good. Next up, we have our little Naruto Bunny here, and yeah, that's fun. That's a fun Pokemon. That's gonna go super solid. How can you not like that? That's a very nice Pokemon. And now we have the two that are in the category for absolute fucker. These two both just have absolute fucker energy. Oh man, I don't know. Maybe it would be more important to think about. No, neither one of them's gonna be it for next time. So one of them's gonna get this prestigious honor, and the next is going to be bullied. You know, honestly, why force it? Why force it? They both get the honor of absolute fucker. They are both absolute fuckers, right? In addition to that, I kind of want to move. I want to move Grovyle up to the best because that's just such a good Pokemon. I should have been nicer to that. I like that so much more upon looking at it again. And then the best of the best is pretty hard for me to call, but I'm going to give it to Bayleaf because it's the only one that I look at and I say, I wish this was your final form. This is such a good Pokemon design. And whereas it strays away from the thought of the awkward teen years, it's still such a solid design. I am a big fan of that. Next up, churning ahead. We're not gonna stop. There are no breaks here. we are going to do the final evolutions, starting with Chestnut. Chestnut is, on the one hand, pretty intimidating looking. On the other hand, very busy design. We're gonna put that one in good. That's a good design. I don't know that I love it, but I don't hate it either. Next up, we have Swampert, and actually it looks like, let me check. No, I thought we were going to get all of the Hoenn starters here, but we actually don't. Swampert and Sceptile, though, those are both. Blaziken is not here yet. Okay, so Swampert, I'm actually a big fan of. I think Swampert's going to go in the Super Solid. That is such a fun design. I'm a big fan of it. And then this is the controversial one. Sceptile just goes in good. I guess it can't really go in good, can it? Because it's clearly better than. We're gonna put it here, and we're actually gonna move Swampert up to the best. I'm a big fan of Swampert. It really rebounds from what was a pretty big misstep with Marshtomp. Next up, we have not Robin Hood, but an owl, and you guys, I do not love this design. A lot of people do. A lot of people are really big on this one, and that's great. I am so. And I'm not being condescending. I think if you think it's a really cool Pokemon, that's awesome. I'm just not really seeing it. It's good. Yeah, we're gonna move this one down to bad because I keep putting things in good and being like, well, they're better than that. So I think the only real option here is just to move it down. If I keep having these thoughts about it, Samurott. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened here. I do not like Samurott. I am not a fan of Samurott. Not a very good Pokemon. Charizard. Now, there are two schools of thought with Charizard. One is this is the greatest Pokemon of all time. How dare you say anything else? And then there's the other kind of the school of thought that sprung up from too many people falling in the former category, where they're like, you know what? Charizard is stinky and overrated. And I don't fall into either of those. I guess my thing is Charizard's proportions have always bothered me. I have never been big on Charizard's proportions. It's not that I think it's a bad Pokemon. In fact, in terms of the color scheme, it's fantastic. In terms of the Pokemon itself, it's solid. But the tiny arms, the wings that, I mean, really don't look like they should be supporting a dragon of that size. The really long neck, very skinny neck. It's Pokemon blasphemy. But I'm gonna put Charizard in the Super Solid. It's a good Pokemon. In fact, it's more than good. I think really without the iconic status, I would probably be harder on it without that. Which that tells me a little something. Delphox. Delphox is a step backwards. I was such a big fan of Braixen, and Delphox is just a real step backwards. I'm not a fan of this one at all. We're gonna put it in bad. It's better than these two, but Incineroar is in the running for one of the more prestigious awards we give out here, so we're actually not gonna say that one quite yet. Next up, we have Blaziken, which this is another one of those things I know people are going to be very upset about, but I am not a big fan of Blaziken. It's good. I don't hate Blaziken by any means, but it's also not a Pokemon that it just, to me, I feel Torchic was so cute. Such a promising start. I don't know where I thought they were going to go with this chicken thing, but it wasn't here, and I'm not a fan of it. Next up, we have Meganium. What a step backwards. This is terrible. This is such a forgettable, bad Pokemon. On its own, it would be probably, if this were like the middle tier evolution or something, it'd be a lot higher. But because this is the final tier after Bayleaf, this goes in dog water. What the hell did you guys do? What is this? What happened to my Bayleaf? I would honestly want this Bayleaf to never evolve into this. This is a fate worse than death. Greninja. Greninja is such a cool Pokemon. I actually didn't know that was the tongue until somebody mentioned it, and now I can't unsee it. Which is kind of a wacky detail, but most of the time you're just like, oh, what a cool scarf. It's gonna go in Super Solid. It's probably not good. It's a fun Pokemon. I like it a lot. Typhlosion, putting that up in the best. What a Pokemon. What a Pokemon. And, you know, I don't know. I've already disclosed my biases here. You know, Empoleon, he brings it back somewhat. Piplup is just never going to be my favorite, is it? It's as good as the line could have hoped for at the end there. So, you know what? We'll put it in good, solid sticking of the landing. It does. The crown aspect is kind of cool, and penguins are cool, so I can't be too mean. Yeah, I don't know. Superior. That's a fun Pokemon. That's a fun Pokemon. We're going to put that at the top of the good. Superior, the whole way through, from Snivy onwards, it's just a good Pokemon. It's not my favorite, but it's pretty fun. Infernape is more than pretty fun. It's one of the best. It's a fantastic Pokemon. I mean, that I am a really big fan of what they did there. It's hard for me to put it into words just how well I think they did there. For Alligator, it's lanky. It's definitely got those wide birthing hips. I'm not really sure. You would think. So I'm a big fan of alligators. I think they're awesome animals. I'm a big fan of most animals, but I don't really know how this one turned out how it did, and as controversial as it's gonna be, I'm gonna put this in the bad. I'm just not a fan. I'm just not a fan. Now we do reach Primarina. We're finally gonna be nice. We're finally going to say some nice things about this line that has, I think, been at best bad, or maybe it's been 2 straight dog waters. I don't know. It's all pretty rough. We're gonna be nice here and actually put this in the best. Psych! No, we're not. I still hate this line. This is a dog water. I'm being so mean. Some people probably really like this line, and I'm sorry. At no point. You know what though? We're gonna put him bad because I'm reserving dog water this time around for what they did to Bayleaf. I'm reserving it. So you get bumped up to bad. And honestly, I'm probably being too harsh. Venusaur. Venusaur is Venusaur's amazing. Venusaur is about as cool as this could have been, right? There's really nothing to. In fact, let's change a few things. Let's change the order here. And put Venusaur up here. Yeah, Venusaur's fantastic. Really nothing I would change there. Really nothing I would change. Terra. The concept is very fun. It does feel sort of Venusaur-esque, but at the same time, it's a turtle. Instead of Venusaur just feels like almost a dinosaur to me. It's a very fun design. I like it a lot. Blastoise is another one that's going to get the best. Blastoise, I have no complaints with Blastoise. Blastoise it evolves to have cannons on its back. That's awesome. That's just really cool. Now we have Imbor and oh jeez, I forgot the name. I gotta do a quick cheat here. Oh dear. Incineroar. Imbor and Incineroar. Both of these could be the absolute fuckeriest fuckers of all time. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. That's kind of tough. Who are you realistically supposed to choose there? I think both of them can make a solid case for it, but I refuse to do it 2 straight times, right? I refuse to put them both there. So Incineroar gets it, because Incineroar is supposed to be a heel in wrestling, the bad guy, and I think that's pretty fun. I think it's fun to have a heel. And then as far as Imbor goes, I'm actually a pretty big fan. It's a busy design, but it's a fun design, and it definitely feels like the final evolution, right? It's good. It's a good design. I'm actually gonna put it up here, even though I know a lot of people don't like it. Lastly, we do have some that were not included on this. I didn't realize it until I started doing it, so do forgive me there. But we are going to put my boy Rillaboom up in the best. That is a fantastic Pokemon that I really like. Rillaboom is about as good as it gets. Cinderace is another one that, frankly, I like. I think Cinderace is super fun, and I really don't have any complaints about it. Messed up Inteleon, the most controversial of the Galar starters, and I initially hated it, but damn, it's grown on me. I'm gonna put it up. Yeah, it's so tall and lanky. I'm struggling. We're gonna put it in good and leave it there. So that's I can't remember if I put Cinderace anywhere, but put it in super solid. And if that contradicts something I previously said, this video is already run over, so I don't want to go back and change it. Anyway, all that leaves now is to crown one the best of the best. And for this one, I'm actually going to... Ooh, this is tough. This is tough because there are some real heavy hitters here, some of which I could have put a lot higher than I did. I'm going to put Rillaboom at the best of the best because it is everything. It is the perfect culmination to Grookey's evolutionary line. It is fantastic, but honestly, just put your favorite at the best of the best. I don't care. They're all... Honestly, even the ones I put in bad, this was the hardest one because I had to go a little harder on some than I would like to because these are all really good. They nailed the final evolution of just about everyone. Except for one. But that's going to do it for me today. If you did enjoy this, make sure you like and subscribe. Remember, we're mainly a Dead by Daylight channel, but we do some other things. So please do stick around, watch these videos, have some fun with these. This was just a little nothing. Just a little have fun with some Pokemon because I've been playing a lot of Pokemon lately, right? That's going to do it for me. Until next time, bye friends.